Sustainability is very much in focus this week with the COP28 climate conference about to start in Dubai. Multinational corporation Coca-Cola company has major climate sustainability goals and has been working towards them. Joining us to discuss this further is Amaka Onyemelukwe, the Director of Public Affairs in charge of communication and sustainability at the Coca-Cola company. She's live here in the studios with me bright and early Monday morning. Great to have you, madam.
Thank you.
This is your week. The week on sustainability globally. But I'm sure Coca-Cola, as an international company with hundreds of years, as a company must have sustainability under its umbrella. So tell me, what are the key areas? What efforts are you making? In what key areas are you looking at sustainability in today's corporate world?
Thank you so much. For the Coca-Cola company, our focus really, starting from the company's purpose, is to refresh the world and make a difference. And the making a difference part is centered on the sustainability across the business. And we've been doing this for 137 years old globally and 72 years in Nigeria. And I can tell you that it's very good for business and the society. And as a core critical focus area, the first, it's on packaging. We actually understand that the world is going through a packaging crisis in terms of, if you look at the environment, packaging of goods practically litters the environment for a country like Nigeria. And the second area also is on water leadership. And in this packaging, for example, the target for the Coca-Cola company is that in 2018, we took a global commitment for every can or plastic that we sell, that we have to enable the collection and recycling of it. And that not only that, we have to also make sure that we use 50% recycled content in our packaging. And also to ensure that all our packaging material are recyclable. In Nigeria, for example, 100% of the packaging that we're putting in the market is fully recyclable, meaning that you can use that bottle for other uses, and you can also recycle it into another bottle. And that's the center of circular economy. So today, everybody sees the beverage packaging or the beverage containers that we use to package our products like Coca-Cola, Sprite, and Fanta. After you finish consuming it, please do not trash it. It's not a trash, it's somebody's raw material. We are encouraging everybody to understand that even on the product packaging, you see, please recycle me, boldly written. But what we are seeing is the behavioral issue. While the plastic is ending up in the environment, clogging our drainages and then ending up in the waterways, we are trying to change that narrative. It's a powerful economic tool because if you have been washing lately, you will see that more and more people are beginning to collect them. And when you collect them, there are people who are actually offering, because it's almost raw materials, they are willing to pay for it. It has a value, so it's not waste. It's actually a resource.
Give me some discount. Give me some incentive, and I'm going to return the one I have under the table. But I'm sure sustainability is central to national development. Where's the key factor here?
Definitely. So I would say that if you look at the SDGs, it's actually built on sustainability because whether it's in business, in our individual lives, it actually, sustainability sits at the heart of it. And if you notice, it's not an extra cost. We've seen that if you implement sustainability even in the business world, you're going to have more profitability, you're going to have a more sustainable business, and definitely a sustainable society. And that's what, for us as a business, from the packaging that we use, from the water that we use in our facilities, making sure that we replenish 100% of it to the communities where we serve. And also, of course, by the time you incorporate that into your business model, you remember that, for example, in Nigeria, we own 8 operating plants all over the country. That means that even in rural communities, these sustainabilities are implemented, from the water to packaging recovery to climate issues. And of course, empowerment, which is focused on women and youths. Nigeria sits at we have 70% of our population young people, and also 50% of it are women. So engraving sustainability at the core of it actually leads to building more sustainable societies and healthier people.
So when you look at Nigeria's society, I'm sure when you talk about cities, Lagos, Abuja, Kano, and the rest, and then you talk about the rural areas where environmental enlightenment needs to get a little bit more deeper in terms of culture. You talk about cultural issues and whatever. What are you doing as a national company, as an international company? Sorry?
Definitely. We recognize the fact that we can't do it alone because most of these communities, we are not very physically present there. So partnerships, which is the SDG 17, is the goal. So today we are working with a lot of NGOs, a lot of community groups, a lot of private or peer companies as well to be able to reach everywhere. So like you recognize our brands are distributed all over the most remote places of the nation. And we are leveraging on that power of our brand to be able to ensure that the same mechanism that we use in our distribution model is implemented in reaching those rural communities so that everybody, because we actually, the behavioral change that we need has to start from every individual level. So reaching those communities in the way and manner that they'd like to be reached, leveraging the power of the civil societies, peer companies like ours, and partnerships makes us make sure that as we deliver our brands to them, we are equally making sure that they actually understand the environmental protection that needs to happen.
Yeah, so looking at this particular table, for example, you look at the Nigeria water supply, sewage and waste management, GDP. Walk me through this. That's from the Statistics Office in terms of how this all go into play in what we're trying to do in terms of managing the environment on a sustainable basis.
So definitely. So if you look at the indices, actually, you recognize that despite Nigeria is not water stressed, but definitely in terms of really access to potable water is a big challenge. Okay. And that's where companies like us come in. First of all, leveraging the power of our brands to make sure that we actually provide more potable water in these communities, and as well, driving the right level of partnership that is required, because government alone can't do it. And that's where the corporate sustainability comes in, to be able to bridge the gap that we have to make sure that no one is actually left behind. And of course, in the issue of waste management, that's another menace, not just Nigeria. I think the global world is actually passing through this.
Solid waste management.
Solid waste management. And of course, everyone is a contributor, by the way. Plastic is also it's a chunk of that aspect of waste management.
Plastic waste problem. But what else do you think we can do? Just wait for any rainfall in Lagos, by the way, heavy rainfall, and all the, look at these images, whichever part of the world this image is coming from. So what else, what more? Are we likely to see products like from Coca-Cola being produced in paper, with paper rather than plastic? Is it possible?
So if you look at this, definitely plastic is a menace. But just look at it, for Coca-Cola, for example, 33% of our production is in returnable glass bottle, which is the returnable glass bottle that all of us use.
Yes.
So, but definitely the other part still sits in the issue of one-way packaging that is also leading to this. But you can see that a lot of flexibles are here.
I'm just trying to find out, like you have a cup of coffee, like that's made with paper, right? So, is it possible to produce Coca-Cola products in paper like this that is
so research and development is still ongoing. Today, It is not produced in paper,
yes,
but definitely that research is ongoing, because you can recognize that product, in terms of the shelf life of it, have to be protected. Okay. So we have to balance environment and also food safety, because this is a product that is going to travel wide around the country. We have harsh weather condition that has to be maintained so that you are also making sure that people are not coming up with food safety challenges. So the packaging has to be such that it protects the integrity of the products so that people can actually live. And for me, the major thing is in behavioral change. We need to change our behavior.
Where should that start from?
Each and every one of us, me and you in this room, everyone, citizens, from home, from schools, catching them young. In some countries where we go, you saw what happened during the last World Cup, where after the match, the citizens had to go there to clean up. Japan, yeah, because they have engraved it in their culture. And I think for us in Nigeria, we can actually start from there to be able to
include sustainability as in our curricula. Maybe from secondary school.
I totally agree with you. Some states are already doing that. Lagos State is a living example. So it's being taught in schools right now. Lawman has an academy where they take children. The Ministry of Education in Lagos State is a living example that have adopted that model.
I think at the federal level, we should do something like that. So we begin to have the new generation of our young ones learn sustainability as part of life. Because there are civic duties, right? And civic education is available. But then what about sustainability, which is about our lives now and the future? I think that will be good. You think it should be included, not just in public, but also private schools?
No, definitely. Awareness like this is quite important because the policymakers need to actually adopt that.
Okay, Coca-Cola should set up an academy for that. It's just my idea.
We are already leading on that, and I can tell you that we have a full sector of our industry known as the Food and Beverage Recycling Alliance, which is peer companies like us. This is one area that we have all come together, even if we are competitors on the market side.
Yes.
But in terms of this sustainability area, we put our resources together, our strengths, to be able to share ideas and work with government to institute some of these things so that we can have a cleaner and better society.
But now that you touch on government, how much more collaboration would you like to see between government to government in the sustainability area?
For me, I would say that for Nigeria, I think the government is responding very positively in terms of the engagements. Their doors are open. We are constantly engaging with them. I think the lacuna we are having is actually in the ways of implementation.
Ministry of the Environment?
Not just Ministry of Environment. Like you can see, it's an interconnection. We need education. We need the Ministry of Environment. We need everyone.
Ministry of Water Resources.
Yeah, exactly. Even the Ministry of Industries as well. Because really, even recycling is expensive and really...
Science and tech.
Science and tech as well. Because we do a lot of fabrication in terms of even compressing the materials that have been collected to reduce logistic costs. What we are seeing is that most of these technologies are coming from China and, of course, expensive for people who are in the waste management side.
So you think we can do a little bit of that on our
raw materials fabrication of the machines
to
be able to use to actually take care of this waste. And I can tell you that at least that's an area that can reduce costs since we are developing and we don't have enough money.
Do you have a word for the summit here in Dubai for the COP28?
So for me, I'm not a big fan of the summit because we've done Glasgow, we've done Egypt.
Break my heart.
But I believe that definitely we have to keep talking about this so that we can have better models. But I think the main action is how are we implementing the little solutions that we have within us that we have the power to influence rather than, But definitely, I recognize that the summit we have to keep on because we have to keep talking about it until we get it right.
Yeah, and we need to keep talking. Director of Public Affairs, Communication and Sustainability at the Coca-Cola Company. Thank you so much for being here, Madam Amaka Onyemelukwe. Thank you so much, and have a great week ahead.
Thank you so much.
It's good to have you. Thank you.